Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about how I lined up my first restaurant photography shoot. This video is not for experienced photographers in the restaurant or culinary industry. It's more so for people that are brand new to it or trying to get into it, like myself. First, a little bit of my background. If you didn't know, I'm a software engineer full-time, and I like to do photography on the side as a hobby on weekends and weekdays. But I do have experience shooting weddings, engagements, birthday parties, graduations, and that sort of thing in college. In this video, I want to go through the process of how I found the restaurants to reach out to, how I reached out, as well as the exact email that I sent out. I'm also going to address the topic of whether you should charge, how I offered to deliver the photos. I'll share what gear I brought to the shoot, and I'll talk about what the experience was like overall. Let's get into it. So first, I was looking to shoot more fine dining restaurants. I wasn't looking for fast food. I wasn't looking for your local seafood shop. So I started off by just going to Google Maps and looking for fine dining restaurants in the area. And what I was looking for specifically were the photos and the ratings. If you've seen my Instagram, I have a very certain style, and so I was looking for restaurants that also would fit that style, which means I could deliver my style, which is inevitably going to be just better work, and they're going to enjoy it more. Eventually, I landed on a restaurant named Ni. This restaurant had the perfect vibe for what I was looking for. It was near to where I live in Denver, Colorado. But I reached out to Ni, and when they got back to me, it all sort of fell into place. Let's take a look. So here's the first email that I sent them. So as I said before, I've shot weddings and engagements, and I know how difficult it is to get a gig without having any work to show in that category. And in this case, I have photography, but no type of culinary experience shooting food or shooting restaurant workers of any kind. Personally, I believe in that scenario, you don't have to charge. You don't have to charge. There is something to be said about keeping your prices high and not undercutting a lot of other photographers once you're in the industry, especially if your worth is higher. But when you have no portfolio, you just don't have to charge. That's how you build it. Maybe some people are lucky enough to have friends or family in the restaurant industry, and so you can charge them some very low number, but barring that, you don't have to charge them anything, and you can offer to take the photos for free, and that's what I did here. I made sure in the first email to include links to some of my work, because frankly, their time is money, and if they're going to let you in and potentially disrupt their process and you have no experience, for all they know, you could not be very great at culinary photography, and they're a fine dining restaurant and they're going to let you in during work hours in this case. And so it's not of no cost to them. When they got back to me, they essentially asked for more details of what I was looking to photograph and also what caught my eye about their restaurant. Here I told them I was looking for more documentary style and not so much just food photography for like a menu. So I was not looking to just take a perfect flat lay picture of every dish that came out, but more so something that you would see in a magazine or journal article about the restaurant. Not only did they say that worked great for them, but they also said they would sit me at the chef's counter and give me some free food while I'm there. So essentially, for this being my first ever restaurant shoot, I offered to do it for free in exchange for getting behind the counter, getting some close-up shots, being sat at the chef's counter, and given free food. And that was perfect for me. And I will say this is the exact same strategy essentially that I used for getting into wedding photography in college. I basically offered to shoot engagement shoots absolutely free, and if they like the photos, they could book me for a wedding. In this case, there's not really a follow-up event like a wedding to an engagement, but if Ni does like these photos, then they'll either post them, and that's essentially advertising for me when others in the restaurant industry reach out to them and ask them, hey, awesome photos, who took those? Or if they just have an event come up, Ni and other fine dining restaurants often have events and have photographers, so if they like my work, they may bring me back. So this strategy can work in this category of photography, and I'm sure many others as well. I also offered to provide an online gallery where they can download the photos for free. This online gallery was of no cost to me, so that worked great. Next, I want to talk about what gear I brought. So I have a what's in my backpack for 2024 video that I'll link to here. My main camera that I used was the GFX 100S, which worked great, but I did actually bring a few other things. One is just my tripod, and two is just a small aperture light to light the food if I didn't have good natural lighting while I was there. And I'll link to the tripod and light below. So next, I just want to share some of the photos. Finally, I just want to talk about my overview of the whole experience and would I do it again? Would I do it again? Absolutely. So first off, I wasn't able to sit at the chef's counter, unfortunately, but I was given a table of my choice in the restaurant, and there were only 6 tables, and I picked the one that had the best lighting for the food, which was actually much better lighting than the chef's counter. Next, I actually ended up coming the first day to meet one of the restaurant managers and ended up going ahead and getting some shots while I was there, even though this wasn't the actual scheduled shoot day. The second day, not only did they feed me a little bit while I was there, but I got to pick out my table and they gave me a full course meal, exactly what the customers were eating, including dessert, which was amazing. Keep in mind, I offered to do the shoot absolutely for free, and I was essentially given first class service. I would absolutely do this again, and I believe that this work is going to contribute to my portfolio in a great way for future gigs. Now, instead of just telling future clients what type of photography I'm looking to do at their restaurant, I can show them actual work. Well, that was my experience doing my first restaurant photography gig. I hope it was helpful for those of you that are looking to get into this. If you're already working in this space, feel free to drop a comment below if you have any recommendations or thoughts on what my experience was like. And if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe for future content. Thanks for watching. Until next time.